Tip number 160 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. Now this one might have been better in the estimating section of the book, which we haven't got to yet, I'm pretty sure. But it is estimating expenses. This kind of goes back to the accounting expenses. Anything you do in your business that requires your time to do anything associated with the business, for the business, you should be getting paid for. And like I said earlier in the last video, I can't tell you how many times I went out and I gave someone a free estimate. I never charged them for my gas. I never did anything. The whole thought to me of a free estimate was that it was free and I shouldn't be charging these clients. I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. You should have an expense, profit expense, overhead expense, business operating expenses. You should have these expenses as percentages that you should have in your jobs to allow for these activities. So, and again, like I said in the previous video, you're going to need to keep track of all the events you do, everything you do you're not getting paid for, and try to figure out a certain percentage to make up for this. You know, and you'll add each one of these percentages to each job. And this will help you actually, or should I say, this will actually give you the money to where you can actually do these other things, accounting, records, estimating, which is where we're at here. Now, again, don't forget you're going to have fuel cost. You know, when you go out to give a free estimate, it's not free. You're just giving the illusion. You're not charging that particular person. But if they actually hire you, you will be charging them. So you will actually need to get money from your clients, the people that you are doing work for, to pay for the expenses for the jobs that you do not receive. So I hope that makes sense. A lot of times, like I said, contractors put in a percentage. I used to charge anywhere between 10 and 15% for operating overhead, and my profit was normally 10%. So that's 25% you're adding on to a job, if that's what it takes. And this is what it took for me. I did the research. Then you're going to have to charge that. Now, a lot of people aren't going to be happy paying that. And if that's the case, then you're going to need to get creative and divide the money up into other parts of the project. But the main thing is to get the money to make sure that you stay in business. You've got to have the money to advertise. You've got to have the money for gas to drive to these jobs, papers to write on, contracts, computers. Without this stuff, you're not going to be in business, or you're not going to be able to run your business as effective as you think you can. So I'm going to leave that at that. The percentage is what you're going to have to figure out, whether it's 10%, 25%, 50%, whatever. That's up to you. And again, if this number gets too big, you know, you could lose a lot of clients and customers. So be aware of that. And if the number is too big, try to figure out a way to reduce your activities to lower the cost of that number, so that it doesn't scare people away. And by that, I mean, if you're estimating 10 jobs and getting one of them, you're going to have to try and figure out a way to where you can maybe estimate 10 jobs and get 2 of them or more. This is where the whole thing is. If you have expenses that are getting out of hand, then you might not be able to recoup this money. So you're going to have to get creative in another area of the business.